Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 2, titled Mutant Liberation Begins. When Magneto is forced by the UN to stand trial, a group of anti-mutant rioters test his resolve. I feel like Magneto's resolve is not something you really want to be testing, especially if you're anti-mutant. Because, well, we've seen what he's willing to do. And the UN putting him on trial for, I guess he's not the, I can't remember if he is the leader of, what's it called at the moment? So, he might not be a sovereign citizen. So, they might be able to try him. Then again, I guess the UN could try most people. But, yeah. Plus, there's the whole fact that he's been left everything on Charles's estate in the will, so what's gonna happen there? Because mutant liberation does not really sound like X-Men. Yeah, I guess we'll find out in 3, 2, 1, go. It is interesting that Scott, when talking to Jean, said killed, not shot. Because wasn't the whole reason he was taken by the Shi'ar to heal him? Unless they failed and... Magneto gets the opening spot. That's interesting. Especially if he still has his Brotherhood scene in the opening. But you know how I feel about dynamic openings, so... Were these scenes in the last one? The, Callisto, the, what's it called? Phoenix and Bishop in that, spiral? I wasn't really paying attention. I also don't think Asteroid X was in it. Is that a young Peter Quill? How did you get in there so quickly? Um, did Magneto just save? Yeah. Or, no, he probably wanted to force Magneto into a like way to honor Charles, like force him to be good. Regular people, yes. You're not gonna shoot him. Hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Hmm. I mean, Storm did offer them a place in the academy, because at that point, Genosha wasn't really. He still doesn't like it. You really want to put your pregnant wife through that? Yes, I know. I was there, Gene. And I was there, Gene. You don't need to tell me this. But then how do you tell him that he's different from his parents? they've changed that. Because remember, in the original, it wasn't to protect from the psychic powers. I know there's been versions of her that have been part of the Brotherhood. Your rifles, maybe. Your helicopters aren't. I feel bad for that one guy that's just face down. All the others are on an angle. So be it. Hmm. Oh, right, M, not X. Are you a character I should know? His name was Denty. Hmm. They also seems to have brought in the fact that he's Jewish and the Holocaust instead of it just being a random tyrant. Also, yes, apparently that guy's name is Executioner. You treat a mutant like they're a human, you're not seen as a human. Idiot. Really? Why did you need to drive on the sidewalk? Oh, that's an issue. Other than him, none of those really stand any chance. Oh, you really want to hit him in the face and risk knocking his eyes open? You're whining about. I was wondering what Lady Deathstroke was doing there. Well, just wear gloves. Did you need to shape them into swords? Or was that just for show? You fucked up, mate. Also, you're wearing a lot of metal. Please don't destroy that. Give that to Beast to analyze. I guess this is a good test of resolve. That's a poor choice of words when you're being lifted in the air. I like how he's being brought separately so that can just be dealt with differently if need be. I got chills. Ooh, that's a strong line. I love how the environmental storytelling of just the three claw marks in that door. Hmm. So it should be temporary. How trippy must it be for her to not have sensed that storm? Having felt every environmental shift for the last decade plus, and then all of a sudden just to have that taken away from you. How can he touch her? I'm assuming it's something electromagnetic. Poor Gambit. All he's ever wanted was to be able to touch Rogue. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. That's a very interesting setup for the next episode. Huh. I wonder how long that's been a thing. I'm not going to spoil it because, well, while I may know what that is, it's possible that people watching this don't. And while, yes, I'm pretty sure the entire series is out now, I think there was only meant to be 10 episodes. I'm still not going to spoil it. So, yeah, that's just gonna have to be left for next week's reaction, where they're probably going to delve more into that. I did like what they did with Magneto in this episode. Just really pushing him to see if he can live up to Charles's expectation, his dream. And that line, "Do not make me let you down," that is very strong. I was expecting at least Executioner to be dealt with by Magneto, or at least roughed up a little. But no, he just got picked up, pinned to the UN sign, and then just taken on a trip up to space. That is definitely not what I was expecting. But it really has made me think that maybe Magneto is actually trying to live up to what Charles wants, which, I mean, that's a good thing. But how's it going to go bad? Because it always goes bad when he tries to be nicer to human. Whenever he tries to do the right thing, humanity fucks it up. So, what's going to happen in this season? Also, Storm losing her powers, that was a shock. I figured, because we did see him siphoning the radiation into the gun, so we knew that it was based off the same principles, so I sort of figured it would just be temporary as well, because that's what the colors are. Like, sure, colors are immediately it's turned off, immediately the powers are back, so thinking maybe it's just a prolonged thing, but if Beast thinks it's permanent, then that could be an issue. And we got introduced to Nathan Summers, who we have already seen before. So, yeah, that's also probably going to be dealt with in the future episodes. I don't know when. I'd assume before the end of the season, but that is probably an overarching storyline, because you'd think there'd be a lot of setup they'd need to do, especially considering this requires like two different villains, if I'm remembering correctly. Also, Morph's powers have always been undefined to me. Like, I know we've seen them use their powers a lot in the original show, and we've seen them use it. Okay, maybe if I paid attention to the end credits, transforms their voice and body to impersonate anyone and gains their physical abilities. Not quite sure how that works with Blob in the last episode, which is what really threw me off, considering he transformed into others to this episode and didn't have their abilities, mainly Psylocke. That's what threw me off. Like, I thought, does he have the mutant abilities, or does he not? Because he could fly as Archangel, he could bounce Wolverine with Blob, yet he didn't really utilize Lady Deathstrike's claws, did use Colossus's metal skin, but also turned into him with that skin. Yeah, that confused me. They sort of play it fast and loose with that. Also, to make amends to what I said in the last episode, I said there were 2 spots on the ending that would be filled up with Sunspot and Professor Xavier. No, there was only one. It was clicked on to Cyclops at that point, so he was one of the missing spots. But yeah, that was a very solid episode. To the point where I was very much on the same idea that you can't really trust Magneto. Like, sure, if there was one person he respected, it was Charles, and he would honor his best friend's dying wish to take over the X-Men and everything. And a good way to force Magneto to be good is to request that of him as Charles' dying wish. But I really thought that he was going to snap. And, like, sure, I expected him to be pardoned because he's still part of the rest of this season. But I was expecting the committee to be like, yeah, no, we understand why you did that. While we don't condone it, we understand why you beat the shit out of that person. But no, he didn't even do that. Anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.